All right, guys, good morning. Today is Tuesday. We're going to be in our little books, reading pages 394 to 99. Then we're going to be working on your turn practice workbook, and then you guys are going to work on your 5 things. If you did not do your 5 things yesterday, you need to re-watch yesterday's ELA lesson. So you click on this yellow link. It'll take you to ELA lesson from yesterday. Now, I only have 11 views, which means that not all of you watch this. So you need to scroll to slide number like 38 minutes. So for your spelling test, so for at around 38 minutes, you guys are going to do your 5 things. So I go over your spelling, I go over your vocabulary, I go over your grammar, I go over your mechanics, and then we go over Earth Day. So you need to watch this video. If you're having trouble linking it, I also put it in Google Classroom. Then I'll also put it in the chat for you guys to watch later. So you can just keep the tab open, okay? So that is going to be how you're going to do your 5 things this week. Let's go ahead and start off in our little book. If you have your little books in front of you, turn to page 394.
Read.
Make predictions. Use what you already know and what you read in the selection to help you predict what you will learn about. As you read, you can confirm or revise your predictions. Find text evidence. After reading the title, Visiting the Past, I predicted the selection would be about a family visiting an important place from the past. In 1776, this statement was written to tell the King of England that the colonies were free from his rule. The colonies would be united to form a new country together. Janet Chang, 8, recently visited Philadelphia with her family. Philadelphia was the first capital of the United States. The Changs went there to learn about their country's history, or past. I read that the Chang family visited Philadelphia to learn about the past. I confirmed my prediction. Cause and effect. A cause is an event that makes something happen. An effect is what happens because of that event. Find text evidence. On page 391, I learned that Janet Chang and her family go to Philadelphia. That is a cause. I will read to find out the effects of their trip. Graphic organizer. Cause. The Chang family visits Philadelphia. Effect. They see many historic places. Expository text. Visiting the past is an expository text. Expository text gives facts and information about a topic. Can have photos, captions, and charts. Find text evidence. I know visiting the past is an informational text because it gives facts about real places in the United States. It also has a chart that tells about these places. Text features. A chart is a list of facts or information that is shown in rows. Multiple meaning words. As you read, you may find words that could mean more than one thing. Look at the other words in the sentence to help you figure out which meaning is correct. Find text evidence. On page 391 of Visiting the Past, I see the word form. I know a form can be a piece of paper. It can also mean to make something. When I read the sentence, the meaning to make something makes sense. The colonies would be united to form a new country together.
Okay, now this is going to be right about the text. So this teacher gave this child, or the second grader, a question. So the teacher asked, what was the author's purpose for writing Visiting the Past? Write using a formal voice. Okay, so this is Dean. He's a second grader, just like you guys. And he is using this question to write an informative paragraph. It looks like he has three paragraphs. He wrote one really long one, another one, and then a conclusion. His conclusion is only 2 sentences. He uses voice. He uses the words author or reader and selection to keep a formal voice. He includes facts from the selection that support the author's purpose. He uses grammar. They are is an example of a pronoun verb agreement, and he uses a concluding statement. My last sentence sums up my answer. Okay, so let's see.
The author of Visiting the Past writes about a family's trip to Philadelphia and the historical places they visit. The author's purpose is to inform the reader about landmarks in Philadelphia. The selection includes facts about famous places. For example, visitors can see Betsy Ross's home. She made the first American flag. The author tells about other places visitors can see. They are able to see the Liberty Bell or Franklin Court. That is where Benjamin Franklin lived. I think that visiting Philadelphia would be interesting. The city is a big part of American history.
All right, guys. So if you guys have any questions about the strategies and skills we learned, you guys can go ahead and ask them after we work on our Your Turn practice workbook pages. For your Turn practice workbook pages, we are going to either be using Kami or Your Turn. In that, you are going to be working on pages 243 to 245. So go ahead and put in the chat, are you using Kami or are you using your book? We're on 243 to 245. All right, here we go. Sports rules. Read the passage, use the make prediction strategy to tell what you think you might read about. Reread the passages and answer the questions. Why are rules important in sports? What happens when a basketball player shoots the ball through the hoop? And what happens when a batter in baseball gets 3 strikes? We are going to answer those 3 questions after we read the story. I'm sorry, we're going to answer those questions after we read the story and we do our fluency read aloud. So I'm going to do my first read right now. Every word I skip or do not know or mess up on, I am going to underline. That's because it's my first time. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Rules are important in sports. Rules tell people how to play a game. They tell how to score points. They tell how a game is, I don't know that word, so I'm going to underline it. They also tell players that they can, I think I did that wrong, that they can and cannot do. All players in a game must agree to the same rules. Sometimes a player breaks a rule, then he or she may not be allowed to play for all or part of the game. basketball rules. Have you ever played basketball? If not, the name basketball gives you I don't know the word, about some of the rules. Basketball is played with a ball on a basketball court. Okay, so I said it, so I don't need to underline it. Court. Players score points by throwing the ball through a basket or hoop. There are rules about how to move the ball in basketball. Players must, I don't know the word, or so I didn't say bounce, I said bat, but I didn't finish it and the timer went off. So I'm gonna say or. Now what do? I go to the beginning of that line, which is 123, and then I'm gonna count on 124, 125, 126, 127, 128. So Ms. Park read 128 words. And then how many words did I skip? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I missed 4 words. Can anyone help me out? What is 128 minus 4?
124.
Okay, now am I done? Can I do my second read now?
No.
No, what do I do?
Put it in the fluency reading scores.
Okay, I forgot where to find my fluency reading scores. Where do I need to go?
Go to Google Classroom, classwork, start at ELA.
We're gonna go to Google Classwork, Google Classroom, click on Classwork, scroll to ELA, and then find Fluency Reading Score Tuesdays. You're gonna click View Assignment. Oh, and then obviously mine's in a different place than yours. Oh, you know what? Actually, I think it's still here. Let me check.
This part of the screen is black. We can't see it.
And I'm trying to look for where I put it. Give me a second while I find it. Oh, it's right here. Okay, perfect. So here is your fluency reading scores. You're going to scroll all the way down because we're almost at the end, and you're going to go to Unit 5, Week 5. So I read 124 words. So I'm going to write 124, and then I'm going to click out of the box. All right, guys. So you guys are going to do your first read now. Are you guys ready? Sorry, guys. It's taking a little bit to load. Okay, ready? On your mark, get set, go. 2 seconds. Time. All right, go ahead and put your scores on the bottom. Count how many words you read, how many errors you have. After you count those, don't forget to put your answers in your fluency score. You're in row AA, unit 5, week 5. Give you guys a few more minutes. Type in the chat done once you're done. Okay, I see one person is done. Okay, I have 3 people done. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and continue on. I'm going to do my second read this time. What am I going to do for my second read? If I miss a word, if I skip a word, what will I do for my second read?
Cross it out.
I'm going to cross it out. Very good. Ready? On your mark, get set. I'm going to start. Rules are important in sports. Rules tell players how to play a game. They tell how to score point. They tell how to score points. They tell how a game is. I still don't know the words. I'm going to cross it out this time. They also tell players. I'm going to try what. So because I said the word, I don't need to cross it out. What they can and cannot do. All players in a game must agree to the same rule. Oh, I forgot the words. I'm going to skip it. Sometimes a player breaks a rule. Then he or she may not be allowed to play for all or part of the game. Basketball rules. Have you ever played basketball? If not, the name basketball gives you I forgot the word again, so I'm going to skip it. About some of the rules. Basketball is played with a ball on a basketball court. Players score points by throwing the ball through a basket or hoop. There are rules about how to move the ball in basketball. Players must dribble or bounce the ball. They must also pass or throw the player on. I said player, not ball. So I get right here. So I only got to that page. If you get to the end of the page, you just go back down to baseball rules. Okay. So let's see. I read 132, 133, 134, 135, 136, 137, 138 words minus 3. So 138 minus 3 equals what?
136. 135.
135. 138 minus 3, 137, 136, 135. So I'm going to write 135. And then what do I do after I write my score down in my fluency?
Click out of the box. Click out of the box.
All right, are you guys ready to do your final read?
Ready.
On your mark, get set, go. We have less than 30 seconds. Thirteen seconds left. Time. All right, so what are you guys gonna do? You're going to count how many words you got correct. I'm sorry. You're gonna count the words on the line of where you last stopped. Then you're gonna count how many words you said wrong or skipped. You're gonna put it down here below, subtract your errors, find the correct words, correct score. And then after you're done with that, you're gonna put it in your fluency score right here. Don't forget to click out of the box. And then when you're done, put done in the chat. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on now. Okay, I'm gonna read through the whole story this time. My internet is very laggy. And then we're gonna answer those 3 questions. Okay, here we go. Rules are important in sports. Rules tell players how to play a game. They tell how to score points. They tell how a game is won. They also tell players what they can and cannot do. All players in a game must agree to the same rules. Sometimes a player breaks a rule, then he or she may not be allowed to play for all or part of the game. Basketball rules. Have you ever played basketball? If not, the name basketball gives you a clue about some of the rules. Basketball is played with the ball on a basketball court. Players score points by throwing the ball through a basket or hoop. There are rules about how to move the ball in basketball. Players must dribble or bounce the ball. They must also pass or throw the ball to another player. They may not hold the ball and run with it. This would not allow other players the chance to get the ball. So before we move on, let's look at this table. So we have a chart here. There's the sport baseball and that there's the sport basketball. We just learned about basketball and how there's 5 players. Moving the ball, you dribble and pass, and scoring, you shoot baskets for points. Now we're going to be learning about baseball. We know that there are 9 players. To move the ball, you throw the ball or you hit the ball, and to score, you have to cross home plate for 1 run. So let's read about it. Baseball rules are different from basketball rules. The pitcher from one team throws a ball to the batter or the other team. The batter gets 3 chances to hit the ball with the bat. Sometimes the batter misses. This is called a strike. After 3 strikes, the batter is out. Then it is another batter's turn. When the batter hits the ball, he or she runs around 4 bases. The last base is home plate. The batter crosses home plate to score a run. The other team tries to get the batter out. They can tag the batter with the ball, then the batter cannot score a run. Without rules, sports would be confusing. No one would know the way to play a game. Rules make every player a good sport. Why are rules important in sports? Let's read that last conclusion sentence again. Okay, Kendall, you're very late. We're almost done with our meeting. You got to make sure you get here on time. Okay, so why are rules important in sports? Without rules, sports would be what?
Be confusing and no one would know how to play.
Very good. So rules are important because so everyone knows how to play. So why are rules important? So everyone knows how to play. And it makes it more fun. Rules make things more fun. You want to write a complete sentence? You guys can. I just put the answers in the chat for you. Okay, what happens when a basketball player shoots the ball through the hoop? They may also pass or throw. Players score points by throwing the ball through a basket or hoop. So what happens when a basketball player shoots the ball through a hoop? Nobody knows what happens when a basketball player shoots a ball through a hoop?
They score.
Or what?
Points.
Point.
Point.
Very good. They score points. Write that down. The answers are in the chat. Number 3, what happens when a batter in baseball gets 3 strikes? So let's reread. Baseball rules are different from basketball rules.
If
Sometimes
they
the batter misses. This is called a strike. After 3 strikes, the batter is out.
Yeah, if you get 3 strikes, you lose.
Well, do you lose the entire game?
No.
No.
What happens specifically if you get 3 strikes and you're the batter?
Then you're out.
You're out, and then you have to go back to the end of the line, and then it's someone else's turn.
Yeah, you have to go into the line and start. And start where you started in the line.
So go ahead and write that down, guys. I wrote all of those answers in the chat for you guys. Type done in the chat once you guys are done with all 3 of those answers, please. Awesome. Okay. What we are going to do next is you are going to work on your 5 things. If you need a repeat of yesterday's lesson, how do I copy paste a specific area of time? So I just put the YouTube link of where I want of the video that explains your 5 things. Your spelling test. Here we go. Okay, I just put the link where it starts talking about your 5 things. So play this link to watch the 5 things. Awesome. So that's what you guys are going to do. So once you are done with Cami, go ahead and open up that YouTube video link. Once that YouTube video link has been opened, then you are free to go and work on your 5 things. I will see you guys at 10:15, and we're going to work on math at 10:15.
Miss Parker, I did my 5 things after I did my cami.
All right, perfect. Then you are free to go.
Miss Park, I finished my 5 things.
All right, you're free to go. I will see you guys at 10:15 for math.